Yes. Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Let's Get It podcast. I have a unicorn with me today. Unicorn meaning you don't see this too often. African American female, chef in Los Angeles. So we're just going to cover everything from when she started, ups and downs, life happens, and you know how she gets to where she's at now and what she wants to do in the future. So for our audience, please let us know a little bit about you and how you started and how you got into this industry and how you got to LA. Please.
Well, I'm from Memphis originally.
Okay.
I've been in LA for almost 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been 8 years,
Yeah.
but I started off in publicity, then I transitioned into TV and film.
Okay.
I learned that aspect because I want to have my own food show, but not like the normal cliche competition food shows. Cooking, like I've been cooking since like we say in the South, since you're like what is it? Knee high to a grasshopper.
Oh, okay. Knee high to a grasshopper. I'll keep that in mind.
But
okay.
like my mom and I we would cook growing up, and like I loved. Unfortunately, she passed in 2012.
Okay.
And going through her stuff over the years, I found her old recipe books and like some of her handwritten recipes. And I was like, trying to find that purpose, I guess, in life kind of thing. And just like trying to see what it is that I'm passionate about. And like anytime my friends would ask me to cook something, I'm like, oh yeah, let me do that. And I was like, well, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I signed up for culinary school in 2015.
Okay.
I had been doing catering and stuff on the side in between, and I fell in love with it even more.
This was in Tennessee.
No, here in LA.
Okay.
Before I moved here in Tennessee, I was just doing like some jobs. I worked at Applebee's. I worked at Olive Garden.
It was always lingering somehow.
Yeah, it was lingering, and then it's like it's crazy that it made a full circle. Yeah, so like I've been in hospitality since I was like 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So mostly in the front of the house. Then I switched to the back of the house, like in high school. So I was doing jobs in high school, then college. That was how I paid for
Were
my
you
books.
Cooking in college? Like people come to you and they...
Yes.
Okay.
I was in my dorm room. And somebody actually commented on my Facebook page recently. I was in my dorm room and I would sell like sandwiches.
Okay.
Like not only was I a hustler and a cook, but I would make food like because I had like the old hot pot, like what's the burner?
Like the George Foreman grill.
I had a George Foreman grill when they first came out because they were popping. I had the big one too.
Yeah.
So I made like four.
Size.
Yeah, I made like 4 sandwiches at one time.
Wow. Okay.
And then I had like the dang it.
Not a hot plate.
It was a hot plate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know there's a more technical term now,
Right.
but yeah, we call it a hot plate, which is
Okay.
basically the 2-eye burners. And oh man, I was making some of everything.
Were you blowing fuses in your dorm room? Like,
no.
Why did electricity go out?
No, because like you could cook a lot of stuff. I guess it's like kind of like a hospital. The wattage is
Oh, okay.
is better.
Got it.
Yeah, I was cooking some of everything. I was selling like sweet tea. I was a little hustler.
So the school was like, why is our sales down in the cafeteria?
Right.
We're not, for some reason, we're not making our numbers.
Right, because everybody's buying from me. But
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So I circling back and then in Los Angeles, some more back of the house jobs, and then catering like crazy. On the weekends I had a full-time, weekdays I had a full-time job, and then on the weekends I would cater. Chicken wings is what I'm known for.
Okay.
But I have so many other things under my belt. But yeah, I'm the poultry queen.
Well, I poultry queen. I would definitely write that down.
When it comes to fabricating the whole chicken.
Okay.
Baked, fried.
That's you.
That's me.
Just drop it off and come back in 2 hours and you're good.
You buy a fry.
Okay, now we got Chick-fil-A. Now we got Popeyes.
Oh God!
Now
no.
we got the chicken queen. So that's that. We're good. Okay. Wow, that kind of threw me off a little bit. Okay. So, was there any restaurant? What was there any industry jobs that you had before you went more solo? Like before you decide, okay, catering is where I need to be. What pushed you towards catering? Because a lot of people stay in. There's so many jobs in the back,
right?
As far as like your pantry or your garmager station, the pastry department,
Right.
The hotline, the grill, saute
Right.
station, fish
Right.
station. I mean, there's so many different things you can do.
Right.
And then so many avenues. You know, you have your country clubs, your hospitals, your hotels, your resorts.
Right.
I mean, you can work anywhere.
Right.
So what made you decide to lean in more towards catering?
Catering, I have a lot more freedom, creativity when it comes to how I want to do things. Of course, like working the line is like a symphony, which you learn from there. You learn, the tactfulness and the skill and everything like that. But with catering, it's like I can get one client and I can specifically plan out from A to Z for this particular client, and like that, like I love that. I love that aspect of it.
So the freedom of it, the creativity.
The freedom of it, the creativity. My whole thing and why I enjoy cooking and why I'm passionate about it is I want to bring people back to the dinner table. Okay. Because now, like, a lot of people are, it's career based, especially in LA. People move to LA for a career more than the family oriented, which is what I'm used to growing up in the South. So just bringing people back to the dinner table, forgetting about the crazy life in LA or whatever craziness they have, coming together over good food, good music, good laughs, good people.
Wow. Okay. So what I wanted to say when I first wanted to introduce you, and the reason I said a unicorn is because there's only 3 places you can find Melissa. 3. Up in the hills at someone's house doing an event, on the lot, on a Paramount or whatever, a lot, a movie lot, or in the gym. So when I say unicorn, you're not gonna find her walking downtown in the metro, hanging out.
No,
you can't find her. So we have her here. So I want to extract as much toothpaste as possible because she's going to go back to her dwellings, whichever one it's going to be, back in the hills or in the gym or whatever. So that was my original intro for you, because I was like, I don't know. I've only seen her in the kitchen, going to a kitchen in the hills, or she just came from the gym.
Right.
So I'm like, you never said, I was hanging out at this after hour spot, or
the crazy part, I rarely go out now. Like when I first moved to LA, I did. But one thing I do is I make time for my friends, so we might go out and do crazy things. Like I went to a Vogue class yesterday. So fun. But
did you say Vogue? Like
yes,
Madonna
Vogue?
Vogue?
Like, yeah. I went to a Vogue class.
And you can find her in the Vogue class. My bad.
I know, because I will be going back. I like it was.
So was it
fun.
like an aerobics class?
No, it was like you actually learn like Vogue and hand movements and everything. It was fun. I've always wanted, because like Pose is one of my favorite shows right now. Okay. And so I've always wanted to like Vogue.
Well, I was gonna literally ask you, what do you do? My thing with chefs is that I tell individuals, you got to focus not only on your job, but what do you do outside of your job is what makes you relevant at the job. So a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm a foodie and I read cookbooks and I sleep on cookbooks and all this stuff, but the issue with me is that you get burnt out so fast. So I always say, what do you do in general outside of the industry to keep your sanity, to keep your balance, to keep you sharp?
Well, there's I think it's called what's the name of the waterfall?
The waterfall here in LA?
It's out like in Arcadia. Okay. It has a crazy name. But I go to that waterfall when the water's flowing. Okay. To, make sure I keep my peace, also get exercise in. Okay. Making sure that I spend time with my friends, not only because I want to, but like you have to step away from work at some point. I'm also a food contributor for Best Food LA, Zipkick, Foodie Tribe, and I'm Yelp Elite. So on those aspects, I do reviews. I also get sent out to do tastings in exchange for food photography, which I do as well. Like anything food.
Well, it's funny because the last time, literally last time we were up in the hills, the time before that, you were about to fly out to Florida.
I did fly out to Florida to do a panel. Yeah.
And LAX. See, I keep adding on. You can find her at the airport. You can find her voguing up in the hills, in the gym, or at
the airport.
Or at LAX.
I'll be at the airport twice next month. Yeah, at the airport. I can't sit still. So
the only way to contact her is through her social media. We'll talk about that later, but there's only a certain way to contact her at certain times. During the course of your career, have you ever bumped into something that a situation happened that you weren't expecting. So what is that situation?
Mm-hmm.
And then how did were you able to turn that negative or that unknown situation
Mm-hmm.
into something that can work?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any situation that you've encountered over the years that...
I think everything is a learning experience, so I don't look at it as something bad. Of course, when you work on the line and you're working for other people, everyone runs their kitchen differently. The head chef runs their kitchen differently. Also, when it comes to, like you mentioned, like country clubs and, or like fast food or, fine dining, it's all, something different. So I just pull whatever I can learn out of the situation. Doing catering now on my own, because I went from a small, very, very small, to now like a large spectrum when it comes to everyday life people, celebrities, corporate events, food festivals. Those are all under the umbrella. So it's all a learning experience when you're doing it. Even though it might be a certain festival and then you go into another festival, it's still something different.
Right.
So it's just like, I wouldn't say anything like negative. It's just all the learning. Even if it might not, like my first food festival that I did, I overbought a lot, but I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
I didn't know how to prepare because you're there amongst other vendors, but you don't, I was looking at the annual, attendees. So I'm like, okay, I can get at least this X amount of people over to my booth.
Right.
And so I prepared for that. But in actuality, there's 70 to 80 other vendors that you have to keep in mind. So I over prepared, which was good, because I wound up donating the leftover food to a church. Okay. So it wasn't a bad, I found the positive out of things. Right. It sucked because I overbought, but I'm now prepared moving forward for certain situations.
So if a vendor, they're having a fair or an event,
mm-hmm.
how would you go about it now, knowing what you know? I mean, when you talk to the organizers always fluff up the number.
Yeah,
we're going to have 20,000 people showing up in 2 days.
And it's probably like 5,000.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, because most of the people are crew, staff.
Exactly.
Mediums, news reporters, So, like, I think just in preparing for something like that, just remember that there's other vendors. Also see if there's other vendors that might be having what you're having. That's way you can prepare if it's like somebody that's been there last year and they're coming back again. Okay, what did they sell? What were their numbers when it comes to what, how much they're selling it for? And just shoot high, but not too high. Right. Because even if you do sell out, then like you're not taking anything home.
Right.
So then you can just sell out perfectly fine. And then the next year you might, up the count a little bit more. So I think,
How do you know... A lot of people get comfortable. A small business would say, we're good where we're at. Mm-hmm. The bills get paid. Payroll gets paid. Mm-hmm. How do you know, or what do you recommend for someone to say, okay, now we need to add a catering department. Mm-hmm. Now we need to do more a delivery service. Well, now deliveries, you can do that. But what would you tell someone that's afraid mm-hmm. to add on another service? Mm-hmm. Whether it's a drop-off catering service, whether it's a grab and go,
right.
an extension of lunch,
right.
What would you advise them to do as far as stepping out?
I would have to first see if that's something that they want to do, because not everybody, like some people are fine with their little, because I love the mom and pop shops. Some people are fine with just having that one store. They have their, their clientele that comes in, their regulars, but some people, do want to branch out. If you do, you still have to, be passionate about it, because now you're adding a whole larger scale of what it is you make. Mm-hmm. So if you're not passionate about it, then it's not gonna work as well. If you don't staff properly, if you don't prepare properly for that aspect of adding another, avenue, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't think it would work in that way. But I wouldn't say to be afraid of it.
Right.
Because there's money to be made, especially with Grubhub. If you can add those elements in there and more people find out about you, then definitely do it.
How important is, and I know you're a social media guru in this industry, and the reason I say that is because, and I'm definitely not trying to be funny with this, mm-hmm. a lot of chefs that I know, we're used to people either coming in the front door, mm-hmm. or catering event.
Mm-hmm.
So when you add these other elements to it,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of throws you off point a little bit, because a lot of stuff you got to take photos of the food before it goes out, so that people know this one my special for today.
Right.
You have people showing up with bags like, who are you? Oh yeah, I just sent you an email. I'm supposed to be here to take this to XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
So how important is that? Whereas, my generation was just, you have a delivery guy, it gets delivered. Whereas now the social media game in our industry is
hashtags everything.
literally.
Everything.
So do you think, as that small mom and pop spot, how important, or how can you help them incorporate a social media campaign?
Starting off with, like, of course, creating, social media awareness. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, participating in upcoming food festivals or any events, buying a little ad in the newspaper when it's around festival season or something like that. Because I go to festivals to find out about new restaurants, because, in Los Angeles, they're on every corner.
Right.
Like 10 to a corner.
Right.
So, if you're not, like, constantly driving around, which nobody drives around to search for restaurants.
Right.
You resort to Yelp, or, on Instagram, or if somebody, snaps a picture, then, and they tag the restaurant that they went to, that's the way to find out about it. So, the importance of, if you want your restaurant to be found out, for people to be aware of it, you have to be present on there. Hiring a photographer to come and take pictures of every menu item. Hashtags are everything. Because a lot of people actually that I work with, my new clients and potential clients, find me via my hashtags.
Right.
Like LA Caterer, LA Chef, stuff like that. So having that presence helps. Also, with the millennials now, everything is, photos.
Right.
So when it comes to whatever, you have, of course they, true to what it is that you're doing, but say if you're a sandwich shop, maybe create something, other than the ham sandwich, something a little bit more fun, something more, photo worthy, and people are going to talk about it, because word of mouth is everything too.
Now, with everything that you talked about, with the profit margin being is getting smaller and smaller, that to me, which it makes sense now, it's an undertaking, meaning I used to get frustrated because I'm like, this food has to go out, and instead we have to stop, take a photo of it, make sure it looks nice, upload it, do all this other stuff. Where at the same time, this customer's sitting in the dining room, they're waiting for their food.
Well, no, you shouldn't do it during service.
Well, my point is, like, everything. My point is that you got to be accountable for your time. And if the profit margins are already that small, now you're bringing on a whole new campaign just to get notarized. So what I'm asking you is, as a small mom and pop spot, would it make sense just to bring someone to run that campaign and just pay them a flat fee, or get someone in staff, a millennial or young server, whatever, to run that, to kind of run that?
Right. You have to invest in yourself. Some things you can do yourself, but some things that you should invest. Because say, you take it, but you see the whole kitchen in the background. Because when I do food photography and the photos that I have to submit, they have to solely be focused on the food, as well as the lighting. The kitchen lighting is not the best at all when it comes to photos.
She has, I'm going to tell you one thing about her lighting. She
LED.
pulled out.
I have it in my purse.
Give me that lighting. Let me tell you something. We were doing an event.
Thank you.
And, we're getting the platters ready and whatever. And she stops and she's digging and she pulls out this little thing. And I lost it. I swear. I was like, are you serious?
My LED light.
Yeah. And she pulled this thing out and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. You can send me home.
It has levels,
I'm done.
100%, 75, 50.
And the
25.
food looked so good when she used it. I was like, you know what? I need to go home. I'm done here. But it was like, when would you ever find out about that?
Right.
And it's funny, we went to Best Buy the other day to pick up a few things. And I'm like, oh, those are the lights that Melissa used. And they had different sizes. So it's a Melissa light. So anyway, Melissa will bring her light.
I will, because
anyway,
quality, and it's also a representation of your company. You know, not saying you can't get good pictures in the kitchen, but saying you can't get good pictures in the kitchen.
Right.
But it's also like, if there's something that you're going to push, that you're going to campaign, you're going to market, you want pictures of quality. You want, your food of quality. You want something that's rushed, because of course, in the kitchen, it's rushed. You're trying to get the tickets out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, when you hire somebody for a flat fee and you bring them in, you have time to actually, critique every little dish so it looks amazing. Also, the person that you hired, is professional, so they're familiar with, how it should look. And I think that's definitely worth an investment. Because when I look for a restaurant, I'm looking on your website, and I don't want to see photos from the kitchen. Because I'm like, okay, they couldn't get a photographer?
Listen, I like photos of the kitchen.
No.
But no. But you're right. Mm-hmm. You're right. It's definitely all about, yes.
Mm-hmm. No, I would knock photos from the kitchen at all. Like, if the crew takes pictures, the line takes pictures, it's fun. Like, I saw a store, a Jersey Mike's store, and they had their own social media page for just that particular store. They would like create stuff for the customers to participate in when they walk in. They had pictures of themselves. Like, it looked fun. Like, that's somewhere that I want to go and spend my money. These people are taking pride in what it is that they do, regardless of it's just sandwich. It doesn't matter. They're making it fun. They're showing that they appreciate their customers. And me as a consumer, that's what I appreciate. Outside of the chef's aspect.
I love the fact that you said fun, because I want to touch on staffing in our industry. Staffing is... Staffing is tight.
It is.
Very tight, and it's been like this for the last at least 6 years, at least. Most cooks that I know already have 2 jobs, and places are opening so fast. And I know the owners are not thinking of staffing. They're thinking, I have this cool concept, blah, blah, blah. This space is open, but they're not thinking of the staffing.
Right.
So when you said, I want to draw more on the fun place, I realize now that you have to create a community of individuals that like to get along together. Because now you got to create something that is fun to work with, but serious at the same time. So for me, that's where I kind of have a hard time. But I realize when you're doing catering, it is a fun time. And I'm just like, why is everybody dancing at this catering event?
Because I don't do stress. Right. I don't do stress. But like we were saying, you lead by example. So if you're stressed out, it's going to follow with the staff. Everybody's going to be like, So, I try to prepare. I prepare as much as I can. You can't control everything. Which I get. But if 98% of it I can control, then I'm good.
No, she definitely prepares. She got 2-3 lists, color coordinated. Like, when she shows up at your estate or your house or whatever, she's prepared. Like, extra circuit stuff to plug in. When I say prepared, prepare. And I can work easier that way because I know she knows where all her things are at. And I work with a lot of caterers, and there's always that one person running around, and they've been in business for decades at times. I'm like, why are you still running around? So prepared is good. Yeah, I have no issues with that. So let's say if I was to give you a sponsorship, 3 companies of your choosing. What 3 companies would it be and why?
Hennessy, because I have my Hennessy barbecue wings. Okay. And Hennessy is expensive, but I get us the $7.50 meal from Costco for $65.
You can't be telling people all this. No.
Okay,
that's enough.
I'm not sharing my recipes.
That's enough.
I try to
take that. But I wouldn't tell you I get mine.
Oh, some things you can tell. Okay. It's not gonna hurt you.
So Hennessy's a sponsor.
Yes.
And who? You got 2 more.
I would say. So what is it that I use a lot? And I just thought about it too. Aprons. I collect aprons. Okay. I have an apron from everywhere I've been, and
wow, okay.
I love aprons. I have fun aprons. I have like a Erykah Badu apron. Like, I love the whole, the fun aspect of it too.
Okay.
So
apron company to design your aprons, pretty much.
H&B.
H&B aprons.
Headley and Bennett, but I doubt they're doing any sponsorships. But if they were. Because I would get
the Chicken Queen needs some aprons. Y'all get it together.
I would get I would design it to the T.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And then lastly, I'm obsessed with Tiny Kitchen. I know it's probably weird.
What do you mean Tiny
Tiny Kitchen? It's like like Tasty and BuzzFeed.
Okay.
But they make like miniature everything, like little tiny. But there's I said that to say there's a company called Dash who makes like miniature like waffle makers, like little griddles. So it would have to be like a cookware line. I don't know anyone in particular because I love a lot of brands when it comes to cookware. But if it was
it'll be a courtship. All clad, and all those guys will come to you like, please use us, but you would decide depending.
You know, that's what should happen. Like it should, because like I'm like a rare breed. I'm just saying that because it's me. But like I come from so many different avenues. I also do reviews. You know, I'm sent out for food photography and stuff like that. So they should good.
No. I think chefs should be like ball players. Like a draft.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what you're doing, they go to the particular area and they say, okay, for me, I'm looking at G-Shock, because I'm super anal about my time, getting things done. I need something strong that I can just bang around. Clothing, for sure. Chef clothing, and also shoes. I mean, the same way how ball players get shoes, I want to design my shoe.
Yeah.
Because there's times I do want to wear sneakers because I need to run to the Restaurant Depot and get my things. Right. But once I get in the kitchen, I need to put on probably 2 different pairs of shoes. So one's either Birkenstocks. So I normally use my Birkenstocks.
The sandals?
No. I use the garden class.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I use that for numerous reasons, it's real easy to, if something spills on your foot, as they say, if you were to get burned, you can kick it off really fast and stick your foot in ice water. Also, when you bend down for the oven, it bends really well. Because when I was in Vegas, we used to bend down a lot to get in the oven, a lot.
Right.
And then another shoe, maybe some type of boot. Because I like to switch out my shoes during the course of a shift. So I usually run around with one shoe, and then when it's time for service, I'm standing in one spot. So I switch my shoes over. So it saves my back, so my back is not. So that completely works out.
That's smart. You know, Emerald just came out with a shoe line.
Emerald's like 275 pounds. Which he don't even stand.
He just came out with a shoe
Shouts
line.
out to Emerald, yeah.
They actually look pretty dope. Like, yeah, they do. They're everything you just listed, but they're like designer.
A shoe sponsorship is cool.
Yes.
But as I said, I want a shoe that it makes sense. It needs to look good, because a lot of times a lot of cooks and chefs go out after work. So I want something I can wipe down.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and look nice.
That's
so
smart.
you know, little
See, I was
things
gonna
like
say to match my aprons.
She's trying to coordinate.
Yes, coordinate.
Which is fine. You need to look good. Hey, I'm just. Yes, we need to coordinate. Yes. What are your thoughts about the work-life balance? I mean, we talked about you taking time off and what have you, but a lot of times people say, yes, we know it takes 10,000 hours to be master, whatever. But it's easier said than done.
Right.
I find out that even though you go home, you're writing menus, you're making your to-do list. And even though whether you're dating someone or with friends, sometimes you're there, but you're not really there.
Right.
Like you're out to lunch.
Yeah.
Which means well.
Yeah.
But after a certain period of time, what have you figured out that works for you to really put that on a shelf and then focus on the people that you're with or that you want to hang out with?
Right.
Is there such thing as a work-life
time
balance?
Time management for sure. Like, I don't take any minute of the day for granted. I use every minute strategically, which might sound crazy, but that's I'm a planner. And like in my everyday life, I'm just a planner. Like my life has to be in order. I can't have chaos. I mean, it's just like when your kitchen's cluttered, you're like, but when you have a clean kitchen, it makes a huge difference from you having a cluttered. Because when you see stuff everywhere, you're like, for no reason, so having that balance for me, I have Sundays. Normally, sometimes the day might change, but I'll have one day out of the week where I'll do something fun, which yesterday was my Vogue class.
Right.
So, when I have that, I know that day is coming. So I'll just use the other days to, plan out everything. And just using that time wisely. When it comes to shutting things off, when I'm done for the day, like I'll listen to music right before bed. That helps change my mindset. But normally I'll try to complete the task. Not try. I'm changing my vocabulary.
Right.
I'll complete a task and then I'll make sure that I'm done with it. and then when you're actually done with it, you don't have to go back to it. That helps a lot too.
Right.
So if it comes to like, curating a menu or finalizing something with a client or whatever, when you finish it, it makes it a whole lot better. You don't have to come back to it. So I'm not constantly thinking about, what it is I need to do. Tomorrow's a new day. I have new tasks that I need to accomplish.
So it's really important to write out your task, whether the day, they say write it out the night before for the next day, but everyone has
I have to write it down instantly. Like my notes, I probably have like 30,000 notes. Because the second I think of something, I have to put in my calendar or in my notes. Otherwise, I'm going to forget.
Right.
And then I'll decide what day of the week I want to, complete that task.
We touched a little bit, and I'm so glad you brought up dirty kitchens. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. I tell people all the time, if you're using your cutting board, it's for cutting board. It's not to store your extra knives and your phone and your whatever, because even though you're cutting here, you're still seeing all this.
Right.
I bumped into a few places that their kitchen is not as nice as I would like it. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be at my level at all. But even when I watch cooking shows, like say Chopped, they're cooking really fast and they're sweating and da-da-da.
Right.
And I've always wanted to have a show like, the clock is still ticking until you clean up your station.
Right.
When we started the show,
right,
this kitchen was immaculate.
Right. Right.
And I want you to do your dishes, and I want you to clean everything. So the clock doesn't stop until the kitchen is clean.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it comes from the top down. So if you see your chef come and makes a mess and he walks away, you're like, great, now I got to clean up his mess. So you get frustrated.
Or they'll do that as well, and then you just got, at the end of the day, everybody's like, well, who's going to clean it?
It comes from the top down.
Yeah.
And my issue with that is when the health inspector walks in, you can't say, you know what, can you wait outside? We just need to clean up a few things, and then you can come do an inspection. I don't run around.
Right.
Anybody I work with, we don't run around. When they walk in, hey, how's it going to come on in? And they're like,
yeah.
They always have this blank look because they're expecting someone to stall them, look over here, don't look over there. I'm like, no, please, come on. This is the way I work all the time.
Right.
So what's your experience with getting people to work clean, efficient, around you in general? Or do you lead by example? Do you have to show them? Or you just hire for someone that looks presentable, clean?
Well, like with my staff, just me growing up, I've always, like, my mom would always clean and cook at the same time.
Right.
So she'll clean as she goes along. So I've been trained to do the same thing. And plus, it helps because then you don't have to look back and like all these dishes that I got to do. So if I, use something and I'm done with it, I just drop something in the fryer or whatever, let that cook, I'll go clean the dish, come back, kind of thing like that. So with my staff, I always tell them to have a polished look, which that comes with it, but sometimes you might have to say it just in general, but not saying that I have to tell my staff that, but
right.
But like that comes with it, especially the type of events that I do.
Right.
Right. And just when you're in an open kitchen, like the last event that we did, when you're in an open kitchen and you have the guests that are, authorized to come through, you want to constantly keep the stations in the area clean and as organized as possible. Yeah, you'll still be working, but if someone walks in, like if I were to walk in at a guest and I see the chef has just stuff everywhere and it looks like there's no order, that makes me think like, okay, what's my food going to be like?
Right.
Like, y'all got stuff everywhere. Like, also it's a representation of, running the kitchen. Like, are you running your kitchen? Because it looks like stuff's everywhere.
But, when I say up in the hills, I just got to emphasize this because I don't think people understand. I can't even say the cheapest house is like $3 million. I want to say double digits off top. And I've noticed over the years, even when I'm going to do an event, I wash my car. Because sometimes you pull up and whether you got to go through the gate, security, whatever the case may be, they're looking at everything. Everything. So I make sure my car is clean. Of course, I'm clean cut regardless, but sometimes you got to let people know. And when they hang with you, they kind of pick up your same aesthetics at the same time.
Right.
But you got to be... I feel when I'm up in the hills, I'm always being watched. There's cameras. You're dealing with... Let's just say God is your next door neighbor. I don't know how it's explained to you guys, but you're so far up there, your phone ain't working. Your text message coming like 20 minutes later, like you're way up there.
Right.
So my point is like, if these people are hiring you, they want that exclusive they know why they're hiring you. The quality control,
Right.
the food quality, the flavors, everything. So it's up to you to deliver.
Right.
So when I'm talking about a restaurant now, for me, it's no different. When you work in fine dining, you don't know who might walk through your kitchen to visit your chef or to see your place. You know, in Vegas, when we were opening Picasso, we had Charter walk through, Emerald Lagasse. We had all these guys because they've never seen a hotel like that.
Right.
So they were there walking through the kitchen, just, you know, they knew our chef or whatever. But I was in awe because I'm like, damn.
Right.
But I didn't really trip because the kitchen was clean. It wasn't like, okay, let's clean up. They're about to walk through.
Yeah.
They walk through because they're having dinner. We don't know who's in the dining room.
Right.
So when people walk through, you don't have the luxury of saying, oh, by the way, you know what? Your station wasn't clean, so I'm about to let you go.
Right.
You got to be always on top of your game because you're at that level.
Right.
But I think with the lack of staffing, the lack of chefs in the kitchen these days, something's going to fall through the cracks. Whether it's consistency, staff, quality control. What would be your advice to someone to get their team back on track or to take a little bit more pride in what they do? I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, with me, and like giving the advice, like I always say, someone's always watching. When you have that, just knowing that someone's always watching, like if you were to walk outside, someone somewhere is looking at you. So if you just keep that in your mind that someone's looking at you, it kind of helps, you know, not make you nervous or anything like that, but just staying on top of it. Just knowing that someone in this room is looking at you at all times. Right. Your representation of your character, your personality, whatever you're doing in that moment, someone's watching you. So I look at it like that. Also, when if I'm hiring someone new to the staff, I go out for coffee or something like that to get a feel for their personality. People might have like a long list and pages of experience in a restaurant, but you got to know who they are as a person. I don't think the hiring process when it comes to applying for jobs in the kitchen or asking those personality type questions because people are just trying to hurry up and hire someone and not getting a feel for who they are or if they're even passionate about it or if this is just another line job or if this is just another prep job. And I think that that's where the downfall is when it comes to that, like asking personality questions. Like I think I applied for Chick-fil-A in high school and oh my God, it's like probably like 15 pages. Wow. And it's like, those questions that you switch up, but it's still the same question.
Yeah.
So I think if that's implemented in the restaurant, which I understand, the fast pace and like you're having to hire quickly or if the turnaround or issue like that, but having that personality, then you're knowing who you're hiring, not just an experienced person,
just a body.
Yeah, because then when you're just hiring just a body, then all of those things are going to fall through the cracks because they're not passionate about it. It's just another job. They got fired from the last one. Or they just, I did this in high school, so might as well. Right. Yeah. Kind of thing. I don't want I might as well. I don't want that. I don't want, I want you to have a strong passion. I want you to, take initiative, be just as, patient, attentive as I am.
But that's you.
No.
That's
no.
Me.
I never.
How does someone have that?
There's so many people, and that's like I never overlooked the underdog because I was overlooked. Overlooked. So like it's there's people that are hungry that have just not had that opportunity to get their foot in the door, or met that chef that they admire or stuff like that, or know to even go to certain food events where you'll meet these people to get to talk to them and network and stuff like that. Some people just, they're just not aware of it if it's not on social media or whatever. So those are the people that, I try to find, those people that are fresh out of school or people that, might not have went to culinary school, but they grew up cooking. Those are the people that you want on your team because they love food. They're passionate about it. Those are the people that you need, and those other things are not going to fall through the crack because they want it. They want to learn. They're eager to learn. They love food. They take pride in it. If they make grilled cheese sandwiches, they're gonna make the best grilled cheese sandwich. I don't care if it looks crazy, but it's something we can work with. But as long as you love it, then I know. Yeah, he's solid. You're
giving me hope. The hairs on the back of my neck is standing up. She's giving me hope for the industry because right now
it is. You gotta start asking the personality questions. It is because I feel like a lot of people are either old and they've been in it forever, so they're over it.
Yeah.
Or they're just hiring these young kids because they move fast.
Right.
But it's just another job for them. They've had 15,000 line cook jobs, and they're perfect. They got experience. Hire them.
Right.
But who are they? What do you do? Not saying you have to pry and find out those personal questions, but just a couple personality questions I think will make a huge difference.
I agree with you. The issue that we're running into in LA is that if someone walks into your place, your catering kitchen, mm-hmm. or your restaurant or your food establishment, mm-hmm. if they walk out of there and they go 2 doors down, they're hired mm-hmm. on the spot. Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue.
And that's the issue that we're running into.
Right, but you can't be mad if you get bad Yelp reviews because of the food or the quality of how it's coming out of the kitchen or anything like that. Because and there's a lot of sharks out there that just want the money. They're not, involved in the day to day. They just leave it up to the executive chef, and then they just come check in. What's the numbers like? All right, So it's like.
it's a balancing act.
It's a balancing act because it's like, who are the owners? Are they really like? Is this one of 100 properties that they own? Is this a family owned or is this a franchise? Like, how involved are they? How passionate are they about it? Because from the head trickles down.
Right.
If it's just about the numbers, then then the kitchen's going to be pushing to get the tickets out because they want the numbers. But if it's about the quality and the food, then the kitchen's going to be pushing, all right, these dishes need to be immaculate. So it just depends on how it's coming down.
Just so you guys know, I'm so hyped up right now. I'm really trying to keep it cool because we can go so many directions right now. It's not even funny. What I'm going to do, I'm going to continue my interview with her. There's going to have to be part 2 just on staff alone. Because just on staff alone. That's it. Because we didn't talk about, when you talk about owners, are you talking about a sole proprietor, investors, the investor's wife want to put something on the menu. They travel a lot. They came from Spain. They want to put this on the menu. So now you're like, whoa. Is the chef appreciated? Once the chef leaves, can the sous chef run the show? Is there even a sous chef anymore? Who's training the guys in the back? I can't tell you. I've been to places where I said, when was your last staff meeting? And they're like, years ago. A staff meeting, everyone sit down, front and back, not just the servers having their meeting.
Right.
Everybody have a meeting. The restaurant is closed.
Right.
Not like, okay, we're still trying to put out food for 2 hours and then run back here and we have the meeting. A staff meeting. This is what's going on. This is what we're aiming towards.
Right.
So that's why when I said staff, we'll deal with staff. I'm going to keep it moving. We'll be back with staff. Y'all just, you know what? Let me write staff down. Staff 2.0. And staff 2.0.
It's important.
We'll deal with that.
It's important.
I saw a question. I belong to this restaurant group online, restaurant owners or something like that on Facebook, and I check in from time to time. And this guy, he's the owner of a pizza / Italian spot, and he says he has an older woman that's a prep person. She's kind of slow, but she's dependable and she's consistent. And part of me was like, just be happy she's there. But what would you tell him as far as that situation?
Bring in somebody else. Keep her because you want those kind of people.
Yeah.
But you can't go back there and be like, hurry up. She's old.
Right.
If you meant like, pace wise, not slow mentally. Yeah, but either or. She's there. She's been loyal. Pace-wise. Yeah. You can't go back there and be like, hurry up. She works at her own pace. If she's not producing, at the fast enough quality or pace that she needs to, then just bring in somebody else. Not to replace her. Right. Not to replace her. Keep her, but just some of assistance.
I was thinking the same thing. She already knows her recipes.
Right.
She knows how to get things done.
Right.
She just needs an extra set of hands to get it done.
Exactly.
I was thinking the same thing.
And she can train somebody because she's well versed in it, so she can train. Keep her, and then she'll have somebody to talk to while they're making the same thing.
What do you wish someone told you before you got into this industry?
that it would be a lot of people that's not very knowledgeable about what it is that we do in the industry.
Right.
I don't know. I think that's why I try to do. Not try. That's what I do. I try to educate. I educate. Sorry, I'm gonna keep correcting myself because
It's all right.
Verbiage
It's okay.
is everything.
It's okay.
I educate my clients, potential clients, on what it is, which we had a discussion about that. But like when it comes to TV and film, which I was into, like between 16 18 hours. So the hours was never an issue, or is an issue. So what I wish somebody would tell me, I don't. I think because I'm so spread out when it comes to it. Like, every restaurant was different. But it would probably just be like that people were so oblivious to what it is.
Because, what they see on TV, they see the Gordon Ramsay, the Hell's Kitchen, the Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah.
What's another one? Restaurant Impossible.
Right.
Guy Fieri eating everything.
Right. Yeah, they I think that's what they
Look, Guy Fieri, I don't know the guy. But if I could get him in a workout plan, I'd be so happy.
Oh, gosh.
Because the stress level of TV, TV, you show up at certain hours, you're filming, and then he's eating all this stuff. Hopefully he didn't get any food poisoning.
Right.
But just to get his workout plan.
Right.
And talking about workout plans.
Right.
These are one of the locations you could find her. So,
which I do at nighttime, even though I'm a morning person.
I'm just going to turn this way, and she's going to talk about her workout plan when she gets up, what she do, how many times a week. Because I'm gonna let her do her thing.
Well, I get up every day at 5 a.m. Mainly because I was used to that when working in TV and film. Like I would have like a 5 a.m. 5:30 call time, and I'm like a morning person. Like I love.
So call time means you have to be on the lot.
I have to be on the So I have to get up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. So getting up early is something that I'm used to. I'll get up at 5. Then I'll do my rundown of the errands that I need to do for the day. I use that time to do my Yelp reviews or food, edit any food photos that I need to, until probably around 6:30, 7. Then I'll go to the grocery store, run my errands that way, get everything done. If I don't have an event, then I'll go to the gym at night, which normally is around 9:30. My diet, I have...
No, wait. Don't try to squeeze past that. Now, we talked about the call time to be on set to feed people at 5:30 a.m.
Right.
So that's a whole separate thing.
Right.
If you're not on the set, your regular schedule, just a regular normal schedule, you're up at that time, you're working in Yelp reviews, editing photos, what have you. You run errands, I guess, to the grocery store, shopping for whatever you may need. So, yeah, I guess walk me through the day. So, you're running errands, and then...
And then, once I'm done with the errands, if I need to do any prep, then I'll do some prep work. And then I'll have probably a half-hour TV time, if at that. I really don't watch a lot of TV. If I do, it's normally while I'm eating.
Okay.
Because
multitasking.
Yeah,
right.
I'll eat and then have, a half hour. Then I'm back at it. And I'll try to go to the gym either between 8:30, 10 o'clock at night. PM.
Okay.
I'll do that for an hour. Then come home, shower, then bed, then back
start
up.
over again.
Yeah.
Why is it important? Why is it important to work out? Just for you, why do it?
For me, because now that I'm getting older, I realize that stuff don't digest the same way it does.
Older as 23.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
Those years are long gone.
Okay.
I look like a baby.
I know.
I'm told.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I drink a lot of water.
Hey, there you go. The reason I bring up fitness is because I've always realized that we work a lot of hours, and sometimes you're picking things up just randomly. And for me, I always wanted to make sure I was strong enough for this industry. I've seen a lot of guys, whether they're bigger build or I call it skinny but fat, and they were always tired. They always look tired or haggard or I don't know what it was. And I always wanted to look good in my uniform. I always wanted to put on my chef uniform and be like, man, you look good. Almost like a Marine dress blues or like, I always want to look good in uniform.
Right.
And a lot of people put on uniform, you're just like, oh, you had a rough day. So for me, it was multiple things, but it was just to keep me strong to work those long shifts.
Right.
So when you work out, is it just for your own personal benefit? Is it for weight loss? Is it for what? Is there anything, or you just do it just to do it, or?
Well, the crazy part is I've maintained the same weight like the past 8 years. I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is, but for me, like the energy, when you work out, it gives you energy. I know that's kind of because it seems like you're using energy,
right?
But it does. It gets your metabolism going. It keeps you moving. It's better to work out in the morning, but I used to do that workout regimen where I would get up and go work out from 4 to 5 a.m. But now I
do you think it's a pressure of being in LA to I have a gym membership, I work out, I do Pilates, all that crap.
Okay. I'm from the South. I don't care about all that. I don't.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't care about all that.
I don't care about all that. I'm just whatever for Melissa is what I do. I want to, of course, be healthy. I want to have a family one day and all that. I don't want to be dragging around because, cooking, period. We're tasting everything. We're recipe testing constantly, which is various random foods, as is. So, just constantly keeping the steady flow, and then the energy and just when you look good, you feel good.
Another thing she's not mentioning, a lot of times when you're getting clients or people meet you, they're looking for a certain aesthetic. If you're wobbling around, they're kind of like, I'm good.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Yeah.
You've been on set many times. You're in the hills.
Yeah.
And these people they take their fitness seriously.
Yeah.
Like, they got money. They want to live to spend their money.
Right.
So I think a lot of times the way you present yourself, they're like, okay, if she has discipline or he has discipline with this, then I know they're going to take care of me.
Right.
So I think it all ties in together.
Yeah. I definitely have discipline, especially with my diet, because I do 2 days vegetarian, or vegan, and I'll do 2 days pescatarian, or vegan, one or the other, and then I'll have 1 day where I eat meat.
Okay.
3 days, 3 and 1. So 1 day of meat, 3 vegetarian, pescatarian, and then 3 days of vegan.
And that's your own personal thing?
That's my own personal thing.
Okay.
And that's how I think I've maintained the same weight for the past 8 years.
Right.
Because I'm drinking a strawberry soda now. But, I make sure I drink a lot of water. I'm constantly staying hydrated, especially with the hours. Constantly moving around. Because when you're moving, you're still burning calories. So you're sweating off that, constantly. So I'm constantly make sure I'm drinking water. Also, you feel better when you eat more vegetables. You have more energy than the normal beef.
Now when you go back home to visit.
No, when I go back home,
The reason I bring that up, I went to Atlanta to work on this potential project, and they offered me everything. Do you want biscuits, grits? All these super heavy saturated things. I made the mistake of saying a salad. The guy looked at me like, you could have swore I called his mom a bad name.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Just go ahead and let me get the...
That's like if you ever go to the South and you go to somebody's family's house, if they ask you, are you hungry? You say yes. Whether you ate just now or you're hungry, regardless, you say yes. If you say no, that is disrespectful.
Right.
So when mama or big mama or grandmama, abuela, whoever, when they say, are you hungry? You sit down and you eat.
Luckily for me, the gym had, the hotel that we were at downtown Atlanta, they had a gym. And the first thing I asked the front desk, I said, is there hours for the gym? She said, no, the gym is 24 hours. Just swipe your card and you can get in. So I knew I was good. So after a while, after the first time I asked for a side, I realized, okay, this is not a good look. So I need to take in the whole Southern experience and either get the cornbread. I'm not really a grits fan. Either I'm not a grits
So
fan.
disrespectful.
I'm not a grits fan. I'm not a grits fan.
Polenta?
Don't try to get all gourmet on me. I'm not a grits fan.
Of any?
I take a biscuit.
Oh my God.
First choice is biscuit, cornbread, but sometimes it's dry. But I do biscuit, cornbread, wheat toast, some kind of toast. But that's it. I'm sorry, I can't. See?
Oh my God.
Anyway,
You're not allowed back in the South. I'm making that choice because you said grits.
That's what they asked me. They said, "Do you want grits?"
Yes, you eat grits. Grits, cheese. I had sugars. It's a debate. Some people eat salt and pepper. I like sugar.
Some people put butter, a savory side, and some people put sugar, butter, what have you.
Sugar, butter, cheese.
Cheese.
Oh, sorry.
Now that I lost my hearing, it doesn't matter what she says. It's all good. She's trying to make a point. I said you need to eat grits. We're going to eat grits. So no, the question I'm asking, because we get used to the produce and the fresh vegetables and what have you. And when I went back there, I realized they're trying. I just don't think it's there as of yet. Or maybe I wasn't in the right places that... Okay.
It's not. It's like the South is soul food. It's bad, but it's like what we grew up on: barbecue, soul food. And I know a lot of people that are from the South. They're like, they don't want any other food but American food. Right. That's just their mentality. They just don't want to try anything else than American food, soul food, barbecue. That's it. Which leads to horrible health problems.
Yeah, I don't mind the soul food. The thing is, it's so humid that you can't even go for a run. Like, you walk outside and you're like, I'm already soaked. Yeah. Luckily, I was able to get in the gym inside the hotel. Yeah. But I was just like, if I want to go for a bike ride, I can't, because it's so humid. I felt like I couldn't even breathe outside. I mean, it takes a while to get adjusted to it. Yeah. But I understand how the weight comes onto those individuals, because it's hard to work out outside.
Well, also when you eat that food, it drains your energy. Right. Like the itis. It's real. Yeah. If you eat vegan food, which I eat vegan food. So when you eat vegan food, or like vegan soul food or whatever, afterwards you're not like. Yeah. Whereas when you eat soul food, barbecue, you're like, oh my God, I need to take a nap.
Right. And that's what the itis is.
And that's what
after
the itis
you eat,
is.
You need to take a nap.
Yes, you have to take a nap. So it's like you don't have any energy to go work out because you want to go to sleep, which is not good. Eating and going to sleep. Right. So it's like. Back at the seesaw. So
since I'm not allowed in the South,
no,
because I don't do grits,
polenta, cream of wheat of any sort.
If a network came to you and say, okay, here's your cooking show, what is it? What would you be? What would be the context of your cooking show?
Me and somebody's mama or grandma
cooking together.
Yes, because y'all see I love to laugh. I like to have fun in the kitchen, and getting cursed out by somebody's grandma or mom for like, I don't know, it just adds humor. Like, that's why I love Jennifer Lewis.
I think the Neelys had a show, kind of, sort of. Wasn't that a husband and wife kind of show? Oh no, okay.
They did.
Sorry about that.
They did.
I mean, I don't watch cooking shows, so I just know I saw them at my parents' have like 600 channels. Yeah, they had a show. And
so
what channel would you recommend us to watch to give us an idea?
I want like a family, like ABC or something. Like ABC or.
And you'll be cooking soul food or California?
Everything. Because that's my mission, to be the most well-versed travel chef there is. Like, I love all types of cuisine: Korean, Asian, Italian, French, Southern, American, like Thai, everything. That's me. So that's why I say I have like a lot of my sleeves, because I do a little bit here or there. Okay. Yeah, I recently did because I took a trip to Spain, to Barcelona, Madrid, and Ibiza, and learned about the whole Iberico, Serrano ham, like the Romesco, the paella with the saffron, which I brought back. Yeah. And like I recently did a tapas theme party. Okay. And we did like the whole charcuterie board, like and like station with the chorizo and like stuff like that. That's what I love. I start with my Southern base always, but then I incorporate everything else that I've learned.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted like grandmas of different ethnicities and backgrounds and everything like that. Yeah.
So you can have an Italian grandmother and you guys can make a few dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That'd be fun. Because, they'll be like, wait, you're not doing that right. Move aside. Right. Who told you how to make that? No, you're doing it wrong. Like, and just learning about a culture, because I said music and food is what brings everybody together. So when you're actually taking the time to learn about someone's culture, their way of life, how their teachings and everything like that, you understand, people a little bit more better. And plus, anything over food is fun. At least for me.
It's a good way to bring over the older generations into the mix, because sometimes they get
booted,
pushed to the side, and you don't know what you're talking about. So it's kind of good to bring them back. So
and plus, like, in having more women, which is crazy because being from the South, the woman's we're not supposed to be the housewife, but cook, clean, take care of the kids.
Right.
But then in the professional industry, women are we have to put a name for ourselves in the kitchen. Right. It's so weird. It's like at home you're supposed to be in the kitchen cooking dinner for the family, but then in the professional kitchen it's like it's men's world. It's like it's so weird, which boggles me. So it's like bringing women back into the kitchen, because even if you hear like men chef, they learn from their mom or their grandma. But if a woman were to come in the kitchen, it's like, wait a minute. It's like, what are you talking about? And
that's gonna be a part 3.
It should be, because I'm still trying to figure out how that is so. Like, if you talk to a man when it comes to a personal aspect, women are supposed to have meals prepared. They belong in the kitchen or whatever like that. But then in the professional kitchen, it's like we don't know what we're doing.
I put down women in the kitchen 3.0.
Yeah.
So we got the staff 2.0, women in kitchen 3.0.
Yeah,
so we'll talk about that.
We're not appreciated and given the opportunities as we should be in the professional aspect.
Right.
Right. Not home, family, everything like that.
No, we mean
in the professional, which goes to the whole, women equality and everything like that, which is actually true. But I just want to know, I want a man to let me know how is it that women are supposed to be in the kitchen at home, but then in a professional kitchen, it's like we don't know what we're doing.
I'm so ready for that. But what I want to do, I wrote it down, so it's going to be part 2, part 3 with Melissa for sure when I get it down from the hill. I have a speed round that I do with everybody. So I'm just going to say something, and you say what comes to your mind.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
I'm just going to say the word, and you say what comes to your mind. Okay. Hustle.
Me.
Grind.
Always.
Alcohol.
Occasionally.
LA food scene.
Amazing.
Social media.
Mandatory.
Fitness.
Fun.
Stress.
I don't believe in it.
Well, that's that. See how fast we turn things around? I definitely want to thank you guys for joining us. There is going to be part 2. There's going to be 2.0 and a 3.0. But I'm going to let Melissa tell you a little bit about herself, where you can find her, and then we'll wrap it up.
Cool beans. Well, I'm Melissa Cottingham. I can be found on Instagram, which is Melnificent Foodie. That's MELNIFICENTFOODIE. And my whole contact info is in the bio.
So, to be continued. That's all I'm going to say.
When I'm not in the hills.
So, you know how to get a hold of her, or you can contact me at algordon419@gmail. And I said before, everyone I have on this podcast, we're accessible. You want to get things done. We're putting everybody to work. But other than that, I'll see you guys later, and take care. Bye.
Bye.